Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Soon. And joining us on set, we continue to have a different set of interviews during this 7 o'clock hour. It's all about empowering you and giving you the knowledge and the hope at enter, well, this time maybe the Billionaires League. Joining us on set at this time, we have Sheldon Powell. He is here. He's a founder of Billionaires League, empowering investors. And it's also about a Billionaires League app. It seems as though everybody is aiming high today. Good morning. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm fine.
Sheldon, what is the Billionaires League?
The Billionaires League is a mobile application that is used to educate investors and traders globally how to replicate billionaires, investment banks, and pension funds in real time. So it's a software, an app that actually discloses the world's wealthiest billionaires portfolio on Wall Street in real time.
Okay, so you're basically teaching or telling people this is where Warren Buffett invests and this is where you should invest?
Not teaching, the app aggregate data globally from the SEC and represent it in the application so the common man on the street could understand how to invest in stocks instead of using the technical or the traditional method, charts, candlesticks, etc. So the app aggregate the data.
What algorithms are you using?
It's custom built. So these algorithms are financial algorithms that basically break down the SEC data sets. So once you have the application, the data came from the SEC directly, and then it's representing the application.
So you're taking out the need for an investment broker?
Not necessarily. We're actually complementing them because it's a tool.
Okay. So if I have this and
Yes.
it says to me, this is the portfolio. So let's take an example. They're looking at some stuff there.
Right.
This is the portfolio of Warren Buffett, whose name happens to have been there,
Right.
considered to be one of the men to follow. One day when I have money, I'll invest like that. But how do I break it down? So I look, because I can look at, and he tells he's very open about where he invests. You look at where he is as an angel investor and where he's actually bought in as a partner. What am I expected to learn from it, as opposed to everything else?
Perfect. Good question. So just like how you have institutions and broker that teaches you the traditional method, the investment banks, on the other hand, don't disclose their portfolio. The top largest investors, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs. So in the application, it discloses their precious holdings, their public holdings in real time. So that's the key. So it's not delayed data, it's real time. So if Bill Gates decided to buy Microsoft shares, you get a notification, Bill Gates is buying Apple. Not only that, the application empowers the average man on the street to get started by doing what is called fractional investing, meaning you could own small parts of Apple, small parts of Google, small parts of Tesla through the application. To note, it's subscription-based, but we've built a virtual environment to give you $10,000 to get the hang of it. You understand? So you could get the use of replicating billionaires in real time.
How much is it to download the app?
It's $6.99 per month. That's US actually. And you know the subscription base with
Right.
in-app. So Apple and Google get 30%. So we've been testing the market for the last 2 years. AmCham, Carrere, Tobago House of Assembly, UA, to make sure that we have a perfect price of entry, not just for Trinidad, global. To note, we have Forbes on board as a data provider. So we were saying, how could we have your one-stop shop for your financial resources? So how could you use the application? It's simple. The local institutions and all of these traditional entities teaches you the traditional way of investing. We're saying use the application, try it. Download it from the Apple Store, the Google Play. Practice with it. You could even use it as a tool to go to your broker dealer and say, look.
Right, so then how does that complement? So if I look at it and you say
Yes.
to me that Bill Gates is changing his investment portfolio,
Right.
and you're looking at Microsoft is now investing in some startup out of Silicon Valley.
Right.
Do you then say, I want to do this? Are you just selling hope, basically?
Not necessarily. We're selling a methodology. So these billionaires' methodology are based on 5 principles. It's their personal net worth tied to the securities market. So they're not fund managers. They're managing their own wealth. So it's in their best interest to hire the best minds to help them to manage their wealth.
When you're dealing with algorithms, what is the possibility of failure or miscalculation?
So that's a good question, which is why the data source has to be reliable from the SEC. So anyone could go to Google and type 13F forms. 13F is a report. So you have 41 million report. 13F filing, once you have 100 million US asset under management, you must submit your reports. So those report comes directly from the SEC. That's not us. We're not taking report and representing it. It's how the data looks.
And in terms of the possibility of failure or crashing or securing your system.
So this is the key thing. So the data is real time. So not the report from the SEC. So we have NASDAQ feed in real time, New York Stock Exchange on the Dow Jones in real time. So we have to go to a credible, reliable data provider that could power the application with a stock portfolio.
At a time now when everyone's information is now being guarded and you have the Cambridge Analytica scandal and that continuing, who's going to now follow my information? Who's going to have access to my information?
Good. Now, under the Data Protection Act, it's mandatory for people to disclose their information. And in the SEC, especially in the United States, it's mandatory.
Right.
We're saying we're disclosing their portfolio holdings. We don't have access to people's credentials or their private login information. We have access to your public holdings because once a stock is listed on stock exchange, you have to disclose it. So we're just representing that data, not users' information, but the billionaires' portfolio themselves.
Your closing comments. Why should I download this app?
Because it's a patented technology and there's no other like it globally. Not only that, users could use it as a tool to get started to make sure that they could learn how to invest in the stock market without using the traditional method. To note, Trinidad are blacklisted from opening brokerage account in the States. We have partnered with 2 international broker-dealers, TD Ameritrade and Drive Wealth, where you could open up a brokerage account directly into the application to do your live investing.
Do you use it to guide your investment portfolio?
Definitely, and I would like to show you that afterwards. If you want me to do it live.
Yeah, let's do it on here.
Good.
Full disclosure. Let me see this where you're investing.
Okay, good. So as you could see here, you tap the application.
Right.
Right. So let me log in. Right, you could see log in. So I'm going to do log in with email.
Right.
So you could see, type my email, Billionaires Mobile. I want to call it a password on here, okay?
Right. We got to keep that one private.
Right. And look, password, 1, 2, right? Go. Okay.
Right.
So there you see the billionaires loaded itself. So let's say I wanted to look into the top billionaires. You realize the balance is, could you read the balance?
The balance is 12,701.
What's the P&L currently?
The P&L 2,701.
So do the math. So if the balance is 10, 12, and the P&L is 2, what's the percent on performance? What's the percent on the portfolio?
So that's how you decide, and you then follow that to determine yours.
So not necessarily, this is mine. So what I'm saying, if I look into Warren Buffett portfolio, look at the representation of the app.
Right.
So the app says Warren Buffett portfolio currently is 28.6 year to date based on its top 11.
Right.
So if the banks locally is paying you less than 1% per annum, but Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors, portfolio deliver that return for the year so far, number one. Number two, tell me what's the largest, what are you seeing in the financial sector? What value you're seeing right there?
Oh God, this figure is too much to read, but it's about 71 million.
Billions.
Billion.
Do you know what 71 billion is? Multiply that by 6.8. So Warren Buffett invests 38% of his portfolio, which
Warren
is
Buffett
78.
started to invest in stock at the age of 13, and his first investment was in, I think it was in AT&T actually.
So let's use Abigail Johnson, the world's leading billionaire, female billionaire. She's the CEO of Fidelity Investment, okay? Right. Now let's touch, you could touch it, touch the pie chart.
Okay, let's see where that is. So that's in technology.
What's the dollar value?
Looking at hers, it's 192,742,664.
$179 billion. Yeah. Right? So as you could see, you will see the different stocks.
Yeah, but when you look at that, I guess that's why you still need to have the advice. Because I can tell you, technology is always, you can get it really big or you can lose a lot of money in a company. So if you look at that, Warren Buffett is a very conservative investor. He actually goes against the Wall Street shock guys, and he does it. He basically goes through everything with a fine-tooth comb.
Agree, but let's take the billionaires off the table. Let's look at the banks.
Okay.
We have J.P. Morgan, Bank of New York, Fidelity Investment, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Let's click Bank of New York. So since you're saying Warren Buffett conservative. Let's look at the banks. Let's have an idea what the banks are doing. So let me
So where they're investing.
Yes.
Okay.
So RBC is closing branches regionally, right?
God alone
so
knows, yes.
click the pie chart.
Let's see the biggest one.
What are you seeing?
So their U.S. financials about 163 billion.
Now, if you look at the different portfolio,
so where they are.
is different than Warren Buffett. So if Bank of America invests in these stocks, why don't I do the same? But how could I do it? You press replicate. So this is the patent in the technology. You could put the dollar amount that you want. So you could say, you know what? I want to put $20.
$20, okay, because I can start at any amount.
Yes.
Right.
So once you put 20, the application give you the same percentage portfolio exposure as Bank of America.
Okay, I get how it works now.
Right.
Now I fully understand. It's definitely something to look forward to. And to all of the young people out there, learn the financial markets. Learn to invest in stocks. I actually opened an investment account with a brokerage firm, and I invest in U.S. stocks. But do it. If you lose a little, that's okay. But sometimes it's okay to make a few losses because the wins are so much bigger. We take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more for you.